Europe vows firm response to new Trump tariffs over Greenland.
Vietnam, China exchange messages marking 76 years of diplomatic ties.
Bustling drum-making craft as Tet approaches.
Hello, so good to see you again in today's news. I'm Hoàng Yên, and here we go, the first episode of the show. European leaders vowed to stay united as President Donald Trump threatened to impose fresh tariffs until Denmark agrees to sell Greenland in an unprecedented escalation.
European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen and European Council President Antonio Costa issued a joint statement opposing U.S. President Donald Trump's threat to impose tariffs on 8 European countries over Greenland. Tariffs would undermine transatlantic relations and risk a dangerous downward spiral. Europe will continue to stand united, cooperate closely and remain steadfast in defending its sovereignty. EU Foreign Policy Chief Kaja Kallas argued that tariffs would harm the prosperity of both sides of the Atlantic and distract the EU from its core mission of ending the conflict in Ukraine. Ambassadors from the 27 EU member states are expected to hold an emergency meeting on January 18th to discuss how to respond to the threat of tariffs.
Iran's Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei on Saturday branded U.S. President Donald Trump a criminal for supporting protesters in Iran and blamed demonstrators for causing thousands of deaths.
In a speech broadcast by state television, Khamenei said the protests had left several thousand people dead. He stated that these events have caused serious damage to Iran and resulted in thousands of casualties, and that the U.S. must be held accountable for the crimes committed. Khamenei also argued that U.S. President Donald Trump has openly expressed support for these unrests, and that such personal interference in Iran's internal affairs constitutes a crime. According to Khamenei, the Iranian government will not drag the country into war, but will also not allow domestic or international criminals to escape punishment.
Vietnamese and Chinese leaders have exchanged congratulatory messages to mark the 76th anniversary of bilateral diplomatic relations, January 18, 1950, January 18, 2026, reaffirming their commitment to deepening bilateral ties.
In their messages, Vietnamese leaders described 2025 as a highly successful and pivotal year, marking new advances in the 75-year journey of bilateral ties. Mutual visits by leaders of the two parties and countries, along with sustained high-level exchanges and cooperation across ministries and sectors, have elevated the comprehensive strategic cooperative partnership in the Vietnam-China community with a shared future to a new height. Chinese leaders, for their part, stressed that China and Vietnam, as socialist neighbors, are jointly building a community with a shared future that carries strategic significance. The continued adherence to socialism suited to each country's conditions, and the strengthening of friendship, cooperation, and solidarity serve the shared interests of both sides and contribute to the global socialist cause, human progress.
Upcoming are some updated news.
The chairman of the Nghệ An Provincial People's Committee has requested VSIP Nghệ An Company Limited to focus on reviewing the entire workload and developing a specific implementation plan to ensure the groundbreaking of the VSIP Nghệ An 3 Industrial Park project on April 30, 2026. The VSIP Nghệ An 3 project received investment policy approval and investor acceptance from the Provincial People's Committee on March 7, 2025. The project covers an area of over 181 hectares with a total investment capital of approximately 1.325 billion Vietnamese dongs, 52.5 million United States dollars, and an operational term of 50 years. The project is located in Hung Nguyen Commune. The implementation schedule is defined as follows: compensation, site clearance, and land handover will take place from Q1 2026 to Q3 2028. Construction and commissioning are expected from Q3 2026 to Q1 2030.
Nghệ An Provincial People's Committee is directing the formulation of a scheme to develop the province into a logistics hub for the north-central region by 2030. With a vision toward 2045, this scheme is expected to create a breakthrough in logistics infrastructure, enhancing competitiveness and reducing costs for businesses. According to the draft scheme, Nghệ An possesses numerous advantages for regional logistics development thanks to its strategic location and synchronized transportation system, including seaports, airports, border gates, and abundant cargo sources from industry, agriculture, and exports. The draft defines a hub, satellite, border, development model, with the Dong Nam Economic Zone, linked to Kua Lo and Dong Hoi ports, serving as the core. The goal for the 2025 to 2035 period is to establish a regional-level logistics center, reducing logistics costs by 15 to 20% and increasing the digitalization rate in management, thereby contributing to the sustainable economic development of the province and the entire region.
The Asia Innovation Award has officially announced its list of laureates for 2025. Vietnam is honored to have two outstanding scientists among the recipients: Associate Professor Dr. Chu Man Hung from the School of Materials, and Dr. Vu Thi Tan from the School of Chemistry and Life Sciences, both of whom are from Hanoi University of Science and Technology. Launched by the Hitachi Global Foundation in 2020, the Asia Innovation Award aims to promote science, technology, and innovation, contributing to solving social issues and working towards a sustainable society within the ASEAN region. The award focuses on honoring individuals and organizations with exemplary achievements in research and development, R&D, that serve the public interest.
In the final days of the year, as the atmosphere of Tết draws near, the labor rhythm in the drum-making village of Đại Đồng Camille, Nghệ An province becomes more hurried than ever. From the skillful hands of craftsmen, the traditional drums are being rushed to completion to meet the surging market demand during the Tết season. More in the story today.
During these peak days, the family of Mr. Phan Van Tu, a household with 6 generations dedicated to drum making in Dai Dong Commune, is busier than usual, with orders increasing significantly. The entire family often works from early dawn until late at night to keep up with the delivery schedule.
As the new year nears, more people are buying drums. We are producing extra stock to keep up with the high demand. We select high-quality wood to create beautiful drums. On average, it takes about a week to 10 days to complete a single drum that is both aesthetic and high quality.
Currently, the Dai Dong drum-making village produces a variety of drums in different sizes. The price of drums varies depending on the size. Small drums range from 1 to 2.5 million Vietnamese dongs. Medium-sized drums range from 3 to 6 million Vietnamese dongs. Large drums cost from 7 to over 10 million Vietnamese dongs.
I came here to buy a drum for the upcoming festivities. I'm looking for one with a clear, resonant sound.
Despite occasional fluctuations in raw material costs, production facilities strive to maintain reasonable prices for their customers. From carefully selected jackfruit wood to buffalo hide, every stage of drum making requires the meticulousness and experience of a seasoned craftsman.
We hope for a steady stream of customers. As more cultural and artistic activities are organized, we hope people will use traditional drums more frequently in their celebrations.
To meet market demands, besides preserving traditional techniques, workshops in Dai Dong flexibly improve designs and diversify sizes. They have also integrated machinery into certain stages to shorten production time.
The Dai Dong Drum Village remains well preserved. Local authorities are committed to providing support to maintain the craft and help households expand their production scale.
As Tet approaches, Dai Dong Drum Making Village is vibrant with an urgent labor pace, carrying the hope for a prosperous new year, so that the traditional drum sounds of the homeland will continue to resonate even further.
The last story to end our news today. Thank you so much for your attention. Goodbye for now.